What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder. I'm Warren Thompson, and it looks like Marvel Studios has a lot of plans to try and spice up the MCU as it currently stands, make it more exciting. And in a very weird and ironic way, Marvel Studios is actually in a good position right now to kind of restructure the plans they had for the future of the MCU, especially with Phase 5 and Phase 6, to redo some things and make it even better. And that is exactly what they are doing right now. It's unfortunate that Jonathan Majors was found guilty, and they are recasting him as Kang the Conqueror. And in doing so, that has pushed back their plans for Avengers Kang Dynasty, which is reportedly now called Avengers 5, and other movies have been delayed as well. But again, this is for a good cause, so Marvel Studios can do the best they can with these projects that they have coming out. And it sounds like Marvel Studios kind of has plans for sort of mini Avengers films on a smaller scale before the other big Avengers films come out. And honestly, based off of what we've heard so far about Avengers 5, it sounds like these mini Avengers style films are going to be better and more exciting than Avengers 5. Insiders have recently told us a little bit about the roster for Avengers 5, and it sounds fine. If they write a really good story, it could be a really good movie. However, I've seen a lot of people comment and say, well, this current lineup is kind of lackluster. However, the movie right now is undergoing some pretty big changes, some pretty big rewrites, because Kang the Conqueror is no longer going to be the focus of the movie, so I have faith that they'll turn it around and make a killer movie. And in the meantime, we can enjoy these other movies that they are releasing that are basically going to be kind of like Captain America Civil War. That movie was basically an Avengers film without the official title. That is their plan for a few other films coming up in the MCU soon, which is super exciting. So let's dive into what these films are going to be. And if you're new, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest MCU news. And if you subscribe and leave a comment, you're automatically entered in our giveaway for a chance to win a PS5, an Xbox Series X, some Marvel Legends items or DC items. The winner picks one item, and we pick one winner at the end of every month. So what's really interesting is that the next film that we are going to get from Marvel Studios is Deadpool 3, because this was not supposed to be the order that Deadpool 3 came out in. But as many of you know, many of the MCU projects were delayed from 2024 to 2025, and now Deadpool 3 is the only movie coming from Marvel Studios in 2024. And if you've been keeping up with the news for Deadpool 3, you know that this movie is going to be just absolutely huge. In fact, this movie has the potential to be bigger than an actual Avengers film, because this film is going to involve, well, Deadpool first and foremost, which is just super exciting as it is to have him in the MCU, but then you add Hugh Jackman returning as Wolverine with Deadpool, and then some of the original X-Men. That alone right there, the original X-Men from the Fox universe, from X-Men number 1, X2, and X3, The Last Stand, some of those iconic characters in the MCU, that is just more than a lot of fans could ever really ask for. But then on top of that, you add the fact that there are going to be variants of a lot of other characters that we know and love in this movie as well. It gets even more exciting because we could potentially see Iron Man variants, Black Widow variants, Spider-Man variants, and it's been said that we're actually going to get Wolverine variants in the film as well. As Deadpool goes to different universes, he is searching for the true Wolverine, and in doing so, he sees a bunch of different Wolverine variants until he decides that Hugh Jackman's is the best, which right now all fans would probably agree, with the exception of the height. So this one is a no-brainer. It's obviously going to be an insanely huge film. It will most likely involve some Avengers and will definitely involve some X-Men. Plus, not to mention, this film is supposed to directly set up the events of Avengers Secret Wars and really the kind of destruction of the multiverse. So it's going to be extremely important. Now, the next one is Captain America 4, Brave New World, and this one is kind of supposed to be a new Avengers film. Obviously, it's gone through some changes as well, and ultimately the story is going to be about Sam Wilson's Captain America fighting Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross as the Red Hulk. Now, they've done some reshoots recently, but before, the insiders were reporting that essentially the new Avengers team would start to be established in this film. And here's something really cool. It sounds like throughout multiple films, there's kind of going to be a civil war that starts. Conflict between superheroes is going to start to arise. It's said that in Daredevil Born Again, Kingpin will become mayor of New York City, in which he will then pass a law that makes being a vigilante a crime. And we already know that it's going to bleed into other films like Spider-Man 4. But I think we're going to kind of see a lot of this start to happen in Captain America Brave New World as well, because this is where we're going to start to see that the President of the United States, Thunderbolt Ross, is corrupt, and he is still experimenting Wolverine with super soldier serum. No doubt Sam Wilson wants to go up against him and wants to take him down and expose him. However, there might be some other heroes who don't want to go up against the President of the United States, which of course would make sense. But Captain America being who he is, Sam Wilson having his sense of righteousness, of course will want to go up against him, and he might decide that he needs some help. And this is where the reports of the new Avengers team kind of being assembled in this film come into play. Alex Perez from the Cosmic Circus stated that if the Avengers teamed up tomorrow, this would be the current lineup he guesses: Captain America, Captain Marvel, Falcon, Hulk, Wong, Valkyrie, Shang-Chi, Katie, Ant-Man, and the Wasp. I don't think we'll see all these characters in Captain America 4. In fact, I know we won't, but I do think we'll see Falcon. In fact, that's confirmed. The new Falcon will be in this movie. I do believe we are going to see Hulk. In fact, some insiders have reported this. It would make sense for Wong to show up since he is the Sorcerer Supreme currently in the MCU. And since Sam Wilson has fought with Ant-Man before in Captain America Civil War, it would make sense that he would call him back up again. However, since he's in California, this might just be a quick cameo with a phone call or a FaceTime to Scott Lang in which him and possibly Wasp could show up as well. So a lot of potential for Captain America Brave New World, and they even have decided to reshoot some scenes to make them better, which is just awesome because that means they're taking the time and the care into this movie to make it good. Then something that we talked about yesterday is Spider-Man 4. If you really want to dive into all of the details, you can check out the video I did about this yesterday, but basically the events of Daredevil and Captain America 4 are going to bleed into Spider-Man 4. Kingpin makes being a vigilante illegal. Matt Murdock, aka Daredevil, is going to be doing a lot of lawyer work defending vigilantes. And we believe that's how him and Spider-Man come in contact with each other. Now, of course, Matt Murdock did meet Peter Parker in Spider-Man No Way Home, but now we know that nobody knows who Peter Parker is anymore. However, Matt Murdock did know that Peter was Spider-Man, so he should still know who Spider-Man is. Although keep in mind, Spider-Man does not know that Matt Murdock is Daredevil. Not yet, at least. But Spider-Man 4 has been said to be somewhat of a Civil War film as well, having multiple heroes in this film, and insiders have actually stated that Miles Morales will be introduced in the new Spider-Man film, so he could be introduced in Spider-Man 4, although if he is introduced right away in Spider-Man 4, I think he'll probably just be introduced as Miles and not another Spider-Man. I think they'll probably save that for Spider-Man 5 or Spider-Man 6. So 3 awesome films that are kind of going to be these mini Avengers films, and then of course we'll get Avengers 5, which is currently being rewritten. And yesterday we actually learned from Justin Kroll, who is a senior film reporter over at Deadline, stating that there is going to be a lot of Marvel news coming very soon, but he does state don't expect the recasting news for Kang anytime soon. Here's what he stated in a tweet yesterday. See a lot who will play Kang next, and here is a top contender for Kang comments this week. And all I'll say is this: don't expect that news anytime soon. There will be plenty of Marvel breaks in coming weeks on various fronts, but don't hold your breath on that one. He then replied to his tweet stating, this isn't dismissing any rumor this week about potential contenders for this role. I don't have any intel on those being true or not true. It's just letting you know. If I were betting what gets announced first, Kang or the Field, I'd put money on the Field. And side note, many people have speculated that he could be talking about the Fantastic Forecast, the official Fantastic Forecast finally released by Marvel Studios, in which filming for the Fantastic Four is supposed to start in a few months, which means the cast will probably leak out if Marvel Studios doesn't announce it by then, so it would make sense that Marvel would announce it pretty soon. So basically, don't expect any official news about the Kang recasting within a few months. We also could possibly get a new title for Avengers 5. Many people have speculated and some insiders have stated that Marvel Studios' contingency plans were for Dr. Doom to come into the MCU if Majors was found guilty. However, there have been some pretty conflicting reports about this. Some insiders state that Doom is an option for them, and some people state that it really wasn't ever an option for them. And a lot of people think that Doom deserves his own saga, which of course I do as well. He is one of the biggest and best villains to ever come from Marvel. He shouldn't be the villain of one movie, get defeated, and then no longer be a part of the MCU, and Marvel Studios would be stupid to do that. However, he could be introduced as a villain for now, sort of on a smaller scale, and start to get built up to be the incredible Doom that he is in the next saga. In fact, I would personally love if they introduced Victor Von Doom right now, started to build him as a villain, and then in the next saga, both the X-Men and the Fantastic Four and then the Avengers as well all have to go up against him as the big bad. I think that would be an incredible movie. But as of right now, there is a possibility that he could be a villain or the villain of Avengers 5. But unfortunately, we'll have to wait a little bit until we find out what exactly Avengers 5 is going to be about. But let me know what you think about these other little mini Avengers scale films in the comments down below. Does this news get you excited about these films, or are you currently kind of concerned about the state of the MCU? Let us know your thoughts down below in the comments. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you can stay up to date on the MCU. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter as well. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.